So last week you guys, you remember you all made your way through the Shadowlands, and you had finally made your way up into the cave system here after having a bit of a harrowing speeder bike cross. But you do find that you walk up through this forested area here, being led by your fellow Wookiees here, and they lead you deeper into this. What obviously, as you can see for yourself, it's a large cave system with stalactites and stuff. But you can hear the crackle of fire in the distance.
So how exactly do we know we're not being led to our deaths exactly?
So Lowrect replies to 40, has to explain to you that this is one of their secret cave places where they strike out from the Empire. And if we want our mechanic, then we have to come here. So you're just going to have to come in on a bit of faith.
So Krell, I'll have you know, I've decided not to kill you.
Oh, I can be so lucky.
You should feel lucky. Because once I decide to do something, I very rarely decide not to do it. And for a while there, I'll be quite honest, I wanted to stick a knife in your belly.
Oh, I appreciate the change in heart.
Okay, so as this is going on here, you suddenly your Wookiees come roaring towards you with their weapons drawn, roaring and screaming and yelling, but the other Wookiees are obviously ahead and interject. Okay, so these the other ones here, they rush forward, or they come forward and they start hugging and doing their greetings and stuff. Lots of nodding and things like this.
You do it too!
So as you get in here, you see there seems to be what would be their leader standing looking over you, and he beckons and bellows in his Wookiee tongue to you guys to move forward, and they'll kind of part. More come in.
Rhoda will put a hand on WD's shoulder, gesture forward. Yes, speak to him. He speaks to us. What do you think of this place?
Like this whole planet, or this cave?
The situation we're in. What do you think's going on with these people?
I couldn't tell you. I can't understand a damn word they're saying. But the way I see it, these people need our help, and we should probably help them.
Well, something just doesn't make too much sense to me. I mean, the Imperials have enslaved most of the Wookiees, right? How are they, how is that village able to survive? How are these people able to survive?
Well, there's two options. Either you put your faith in the goodwill of people, or it's a trap.
If I know the sharp smell of stank, I smell it. Something doesn't smell right.
Yeah, I'd be ready to fight, but I wouldn't be itching for a fight.
No, I wouldn't be itching for a fight either. First sign of violence, I'm turning tail running.
Well, I'll stay and fight. I don't tend to tuck tail, but same time, I don't think these people are going to betray us, but I'm definitely ready if they do.
Geraldo will gesture towards the leader there. I don't know. He looks a bit, how shall I say?
The Wookiees have told us to step forward and...
The other Wookiees wave their arms in the air.
So the Greek Wookiees of the cave, they wish to know how the other village of Wookiees is doing. They welcome you here. How's the other village doing?
How's the other village doing? Oh, they're about to get shit on and need reinforcements. Go ahead, relay that to them.
As you wish.
They understand what you're saying, even though you can still do it in Wookiee tongue if you wish. Because they all begin, you can see this restlessness and begin yelling and screaming amongst each other, and more start to crowd in. And they also bring this person forward too. You see him standing behind them as they're all right in there. But yeah, so you see many more moving in from the tents and stuff.
Oh, they can understand us. Oh, well, that changes some things, I suppose. He'll gesture towards the group. You see, we sped in here on some Imperial-class speeder bikes. Where do you think we got them? Waits a moment to pause. We killed some Imperials for them. Where were they? Oh, right outside your woods, just a few clicks away. That tells me that was a scouting party looking for little Wookiee cave dwellers like yourselves. Now, we came here for one thing, and one thing only. We came here for a mechanic. Your best mechanic.
So they all kind of part for a second. The leader here looks towards this guy right here, and he comes. You can see he comes as he's walking up. He has a rag in his hands, and he's wiping stuff off of his fur.
Yes, that greasy fellow right there looks like he's quite skilled with the tools.
You see, he bares his teeth back, and you can see him like almost, just kind of like a smile.
45. Ask them how much they want for him.
As you wish. The Wookiees have agreed to assist us in the repairs, but first we must assist in the defense of the village in the forest. We gotta go and do that right away.
So the main leader there looks over, and obviously there's a lot more noise here. The Wookiees are grunting and talking amongst each other as this is all going on. But he gestures over and points his arm towards this fellow right here, and he bellows over, "Rawr, rawr," waving him over. That's you, Miles. He's calling to you.
I'll heed what he says, and I'll just begin walking over there.
Yeah, you're right here. Okay,
Right,
so
yeah.
you're brought forward and presented to them, and he just starts talking back across the people here.
Are you offering him to us?
The Wookiee leader wants to know if this is one of our group. They said they found him many weeks ago wandering in the woods.
That depends. Can you play any instruments?
No, I shake my head.
Can you dance?
I shake my head.
Grell.
Nope.
Grell, any ideas?
Well, we always are in need of a good triangle player.
That's a good point. What can you do, sir? Aside from look very disheveled and unbathed, because you're doing that in spades.
I know my way around the woods. If you need a guide or protection, I can help you.
Okay, so he begins looking around at the rest of them, and he begins barking out orders, and you can see them all scrambling in there. They're grabbing weapons and things, and they're pretty much putting out the fire and getting ready to move. Begin from the trees in the mouth of the cave. They begin pulling these flying helicopter type Wookiee transports out and pulling the brush off of them for their camouflage.
As they start to spread out, Geraldo will step forward and gesture towards the leader. Okay. So you give us a triangle player. You repair our ship. I still don't think that's enough. We're going to be putting our lives on the line. He'll kind of put his hands on his hips and cock his head to the side. I think that you need to offer us a little something more. What sort of credits can you offer us? Because the majority of us are quite poor. We'll take whatever you have.
Okay, so he essentially says to you that you're going to have to talk to the chief about any of that types of payments.
I thought you're the chief. You're the one swaggering about with the rest of this crew, pushing them around. What can you offer us from what you have here? And I'll press the issue.
The Wookiee says that it appears that we have stolen the bowcaster, and he wants to know if we bought that rightfully.
I did buy it. I did indeed. I bought it in the bazaar up on the village. He charged me 1,500 credits for it. It was originally 1,400, and then he charged me an extra 100 for the auto reloading feature. And he will pluck the string and brandish it about.
The Wookiee has made the assumption that we have money. He says that apparently we have money to spend. Why do we need more?
We always need more money.
Not
the
enough.
Wookiee has indicated that repairing the ship would be sufficient for the price of assisting.
You know, I wonder exactly how much I might get if I were to sell out this location to the Imperials, because I think they would be far less stingy.
They just push the droids aside and get right up in your grill, if you will.
The Wookiee is urging us to settle down, most importantly, Mr. Geraldo, and he wishes to arm us with weapons to assist in the defense of the village. What weapons would we like?
Great question. Krell, what are you good with?
I have everything I need.
Krell,
Are
can
you sure?
give
You
me
wouldn't
a
want one of...
Krell, just randomly right now, as Geraldo turns to you and talks to you, your eyes begin to darken and you get tunnel vision and you feel weak need. And you find the Wookiees are looking down at you and shaking their heads and talking amongst themselves.
What's wrong with me?
Yes, this is the proper way to speak to your captain.
I looked at Geraldo and I'm like, did you poison me?
No, poison is a woman's weapon. God.
Don't know. Keep going down.
Okay, so the Wookiees help you back to your feet and brush you off. And now they're ready. Many of them begin grabbing their weapons and stuff, and they throw a few basic blasters and not slug throwers, bowcasters and things. Mostly Wookiee-related weapons, as well as some sort of swords and things. And the rest of them now are breaking off, and you can hear the whirring of these helicopter-type things starting to fire up. And they're preparing to leave. They're tying their cargo down, and it's starting to get quite loud as some of them are actually flying off. You can hear these things taking off.
WD-40.
Yes.
Are you feeling particularly filled with the power and the passion of the base?
To answer this, I'm put the biggest beat on, and it's just gonna max volume, shake the cave out.
Oh, my internal organs! Oh, they dance!
Okay, so between the echoing of these the whirring of the helicopter things leaving and the bass booming, it becomes very unbearable, and it's also echoing off the caves all around you. You can actually see bits of debris falling from the cave top.
Does it kill any of them? Does anything kill any of the Wookiees?
No, it's small rocks and things. There's no major stalactites falling through. Okay, so the what would appear to be the mechanic here, he approaches, and he goes right up to you and he just reaches into your gearing and he switches you off.
Always get thrown in the fire. That was a good.
Except you guys need.
Excuse me, sir.
He just looks at you and turns and walks away.
Frodo will step up next to WD-40, turn to look to WD-40, turn to look to 45, look back at the guy.
So as you do this, you just see him look over at you, and he puts his goggles on as he's as they take off in the flying thing there.
You better run away. Alright, fuck him. Turn WD-40 back on.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the bass begins booming again, and at this point here, this Wookiee walks by, the main Wookiee walks by, and he pats Miles on the shoulder, and just gives him a little grunt, and then he also climbs onto the chopper, and he knows where you guys know where he's going. So
Back to the speeders, let's make our way back to the village. Let's save the day.
Yep.
Very dramatic, slow air quotes.
okay, so you guys, you make your way back. Okay, so you guys approach here, and you're ripping across through the Shadowlands to the trees.
Music blaring.
Music blaring, yeah. Creatures running. You haven't seen so many animals.
The actual speed bike is shaking side to side, moving around from the actual music.
I don't know what speed. I don't know who I'm riding with, but I look at them. probably tap them on the shoulder and say that that's pretty loud.
What, do you want it louder?
Okay, so uneventfully you guys do not notice anything, but you do finally, you bring your bikes up through the trees to the foliage and you see the village before you. And you make your way here and land back down on the main hangar bay here. And you guys, as you're doing so, you're slowly coming in. You can look down, you can see the damage to your ship now. The back corner of it looks as though there's a hull breach on it. It's been blown right through. It's going to be some fairly extensive repair work.
I forgave you, Crow. I forgave you, Crow. I forgave you, Crow.
I'm like looking sketched out. I know he's about to do some shit.
I fucking forgave you, Crow.
As you land here, the Wookiees all move in around you here, and the chief moves in. You can see the excitement in his eyes. He has a glint in his eye as the other recruits and people begin pouring in. You can see them landing their choppers around the area as you guys caught up to them.
Yes. Yes, good to see you. Good to see you. We brought recruits. We brought reinforcements. We got our mechanic, and we got the others to come help you out as well. He extends his hand out in a fist towards him.
He just looks at it. He goes to shake your hand in a civilized manner.
Oh, well, yes, that works too. Shakes his hand. Yes, and your buddy there, gestures towards the other guy, said we should talk to you about our payment.
He talks amongst his buddy beside him here, and they begin conversing back and forth to each other. Only the droids would understand what they're saying. But they're nodding their heads in agreement, and he finally looks towards you and comes towards Pink Guy towards Krell and Geraldo. And he begins talking in his Wookiee tongue, looking to the droid for interpretation as things go.
The Wookiee is offering a ceremonious axe. The Wookiee has indicated that the price of the axe is 2,000 credits. If you wish to take the credits instead of the axe, you may do so now.
Broder just does the whole raspberry spits just all over the Wookiee in front of him.
Oh.
He just blinks his eyes a few times, and he bellows back. Yeah.
Is that all our lives are worth? Let's split that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's split that up 7 ways. Let me do the math in my head. 2,000 credits.
The Wookiee also includes the price of fixing the ship, which is a sizable amount.
Geraldo, let's go fix the ship ourselves. We'll be out of here soon.
285 credits.
Oh my god, we're fucking rich, dude. That's it. God,
No,
retire.
Krell. That's how much your life is worth to these Wookiees.
Oh my god, dude, they value us so much!
You know we could sell them to the Empire for a lot more.
They start bellowing out, and it goes over, and the one here, he bangs on some controls, and this large door here begins to open up. And they inside there, they have many ships and pieces of vehicles and stuff. But they roll out this large bin full of Imperial Stormtrooper armor. So they will also give you these 40 suits of Imperial Lament armor, which you could probably sell, because they're no good to
that's
them.
That's a pretty damn good deal. That's a good deal. I'll
That's
take
100%
that in a heartbeat.
good deal. Good deal.
I will not sell you to the Empire.
Yes, we'll not sell you to the Empire. We'll do our utmost best to defend you and your people. I'm glad that we were here to help you and all those that live here.
So the Wookiees begin looking at each other, and they start laughing, and they take the axe back, though. They're not giving you the axe. They think they got a good deal now. Okay, so the mechanic Wookiee, he comes down, you see him come down the cargo ramp here, and he walks over, and he starts yelling out to whoever the engineer is of your ship, is what he's trying to ask for.
Yeah, I could bear.
So this fellow here begins leaving, and his not that guy, his compadre, they both walk off together, and they're talking amongst each other as they're climbing up these wooden walkways. But you are being beckoned by the mechanic here. He's standing there impatiently waiting.
Oh, fine. Come on, let's go.
So he takes you up into the back here, and he shows you the sizable. Oh, I guess it'll be over here. Shows you the sizable hole in the side of the hull, and he begins bellowing out and pointing at things and nodding his head up and down. And
The Wookiee is discussing the various fixes that need to be approved for the Night Sister.
Yes, how long does he say it will take? Including the upgrades that his chieftain approved to our engines. Deception check.
The Wookiee mechanic says that it's going to take him at least 2 days of hard work to fix the Night Sister. That is, if he has assistance.
If he has assistance, we have 2 very good, capable slaves who can help you out. Gestures towards, gestures towards Flint. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean 1.
so he
4
just
success, 1 advantage.
he just shrugs his shoulders and says,
Or 4 success flat.
The Wookiee has agreed to have a look at the engine system.
Yes, good enough for me, so long as he does the work. Isn't that right, WD-40?
The Wookiee would like a little bit of extra compensation for the additional measures on fixing the engines.
Ugh,
A tip.
fine. Geraldo starts to undress.
he just looks down at him.
Music.
He starts laughing.
That's it. That's the wrong type of tip that the Wookiee's looking for.
He just turns around and ignores you at this point, and begins firing up a welder and starts melting and cutting away bits and pieces of the ship that are melted.
I have an idea. And I walk onto the ship. Is there still all the people's shit who kicked the bucket down there?
Oh.
Okay, so anyways, as he's sitting there cutting away, you can hear him start grumbling to himself.
I would suggest that a tip could increase his motivation.
How much is he looking for?
Just the tip.
He will accept either a payment of a couple hundred credits, quote unquote, or there are a few extra parts in our cargo hold he would like to browse.
What parts is he pointing towards?
He did not indicate what parts in specifically. He just wants to browse through and pick up a few things.
I will show him 300 credits and see if he has enough.
So he looks towards the droid there, and he takes the 300 credits from you.
Well, I show him, and then if he says it's alright, I'll throw him at it.
Yeah, he holds his hand out for him.
Okay, yeah. I'll pay him, man.
Okay, so you can see he bears his teeth back and he puts them into his pockets. As you hand him the stuff there, he holds up a data pad and he hands it towards Geraldo.
The Wookiee indicates that he's found something of importance that you should probably address.
Geraldo will look at the data pad. What did it say?
Okay, this is the data pad that was dropped or was part of the explosion there. It appears to be the one that you guys had got from Mashuda there, from the water tower.
Okay, and it's already been cracked by Bork, correct?
Yes, it's open. So, Geraldo, if you scan through this, you would see everything that Borden had, his interactions with the Imperials, what the plan was. But this also contains the files of the water processing facility, and it has more information in regards to the sickness and stuff, and the gestation periods of all these things, and everything to do with that thing that you guys had thwarted. as well.
Geraldo will,
Locations and names and stuff like that.
Rhoda will look it over, and for a moment, his affect kind of fades, and he just narrows his eyes. He'll let out a long, drawn-out sigh. WD-40, if you would kindly put this away in the cockpit, let's join the rest of them and
Yes,
get
sir.
ready to defend this place.
I'll take and put her safe.
Well, let's meet up with the chieftain. We need to find where their most defensible positions are, and I suppose we should do our best to defend those areas.
Okay,
See
so
where he needs us to be the most.
you guys can hear him talking and stuff loudly, and Wookiees roaring up the stairs here in this main meeting disc.
I start going and following Geraldo, see what he's up to.
Okay, can you give me another resilience check? As you're climbing these stairs, you feel faint and you begin falling.
Geraldo looks back over his shoulder towards the others.
Okay, so as you look back, you see Krell fall, and it was like he stumbled, but he's just laying there face down on the platform.
Am I conscious or am I...
You're blacked out.
I'll rush over and I guess I'll try and do a medical check.
Okay.
Is he okay?
Riker's got his hand on WD's shoulder as he's trying not to fall off or miss a step. Success.
Okay, so you have 1 success and 2 advantage, or sorry, 3 success, 2 advantage. So, Krell, if you had any wounds, which I don't think you did, but you essentially, the droid brings you back up. Your eyes flutter open, and you see yourself laying there. Or you're
God,
staring at
does
the
he know what's wrong with me at all?
No, he doesn't. But he doesn't. Well, I mean, you can ask the droid.
40. D40, do me a favor. Do a full internal scan of his organs.
I
Take your
will
time.
have to bring them out to do that, but okay.
Here,
Right.
you have my full permission. He pulls out the molecular stiletto and hands it to WD-40.
Okay. I guess I'll start cutting then.
Krell, do you react to this at all?
Man, they're about to cut.
Yeah, he is. When I see the knife, I'm like, I'm
right.
up, I'm up.
Oh, you're good, Krell. You're good. You're
And
with
I
us,
immediately
right?
fucking pull
Yes.
out my gun and I'm like pointing it at everyone, like, no carving.
As you pull out the gun, Geraldo just like takes a step forward, leans in, puts a hand on your shoulder. He's got the gun in his face. She's like, "You're good. You're with us, right? You're all good. You're alive. Okay. Not stumbling. Not
Yeah,
tripping.
I'm
Yes.
fine. I'm sorry.
All right. No need for this then." Reaches over, takes the knife back. If WD-4 lets him.
You can see it's kind of reluctant. It's like he wanted to do the surgery. We don't know what surgery, but he wanted to do something.
Okay.
So we're all good, Krell, right? All good.
What is Miles and 45 doing on the deck down here?
I don't know. I would just be looking at, probably examining WD-40. I mean 4D5, and just like looking at them, trying to see if I could figure out what type of droid he is. If he is an Imperial droid, or if he's I don't know. I haven't seen a robot in quite some time.
This is.
I'm a MK unit, one of the last of its kind. We were disbanded for malfunctions. I escaped the malfunction disband and was picked up by one of my former Master Jack Harar, who sadly passed away in an unfortunate accident with this very spaceship. And now I'm here with this band of people.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Luckily, there is another droid here with me. WD-40. From time to time, we get confused, since I'm MK-45 and he is WD-40. And yourself? Are you truly a man of the trees, as Geraldo has implied?
I climb them, but I've spent about 4 years in just the wilderness itself. So You can think whatever you will, that.
I'm honored to have your knowledge and presence here with us. I'm sure we can benefit from what you've learned in this forest. We're going to be facing a very dangerous enemy. We need to be at our best, our wits at our highest.
Okay, you see the chieftain's looking on, and this guy here is bellowing out, and he's waving his arms back and forth and talking boldly like a dictator. You know, and the other Wookiees are roaring on in their agreement and waving their arms in the air. And he's rallying the troops, if you will. So the chief at this point walks forth, and he, with his the other Wookiees kind of all hushed down. And he starts looking at them and pointing his staff towards them all. Essentially, the interpretation would come to you guys that this is our home. We must defend it. We are one of the last villages on Kashyyyk. We cannot defile ourselves, and we must be a glimmering bit of hope and beacon to the last of our kind, that there is still true free Wookiees on Kashyyyk. And then as things continue on, they start talking about battle plan and how they're going to do this. And they look towards Geraldo to be a part of this because he seems to be their leader. So he can bring you guys into this circle here. They begin talking about things. So there's a bit of their Wookiee generals, if you will. And
Geraldo, as the leader gestures towards him, he'll reach a hand over, guide WD-40 up there with him. And gesture WD-40 just a little bit ahead of himself.
And they bring in the Wookiee chief there. He holds out his staff and he waves the rest of you in as well. Once Riker and Krell and everybody in there. They know how they would defend their ship here, or their village. They would set traps and stuff and fight from the trees and hide in the foliage and stuff. But they're not sure how that you're going to help. Like, were you guys going to hide? He also asked if you have any specializations in which you could help set traps, and how well do you guys know the Empire and their tactics? He looks towards you guys, and he says, given the forest here, he feels they're either going to attack from the air, or they're going to attack from the ground. The ground, he says, would be crazy that they would ever do that. The air seems more logical. So they need to set up some sort of aerial defense system, and he's not entirely sure how to deal with this. Like he's heard rumors and stories, but all the Wookiees have failed in the past. So,
do you not have any anti-aircraft defenses?
No, they've mostly. The reason why that they're hidden here for the most part is because of the density of the foliage above them. Their trees are close together, and it's very thick in here. But the only aerial defense they would have would be their flying contraptions here.
I would just recommend that they would usually they would maybe create a distraction, and if they wanted to overpower, they might just rain hellfire upon it, and basically do a scorched earth of the area.
Yes, I actually 100% agree with Miles. All they really need to do is have a Star Destroyer in position, and they'll just rain Emerald Hell down on us.
However, if they're looking to take people alive, it'll most likely just be a display of power. There will have to be some sort of a ground force, either if it is landed or not, in order to dispatch certain areas and either cause a general lack of morale or just force you to surrender. You probably wouldn't be used to them dead.
Well, I'd assume the only air defense we have is the ship currently on the platform, but I don't know if the guns are in working condition. I'd have to run a diagnostic. Or maybe the mechanic could.
I think a very good suggestion would be to make sure that all the women and children are safe and sound and as far away from this place as possible.
The Chief Wookiee has expressed that he does believe that the Imperials are here to abduct them. So they've taken
I'm back.
measures to hide the children and evacuate ones who aren't be able to fight. And he suggests a strategy to defeat the Imperials. He wants to set up some traps.
Well, what you could do, you could identify the routes they'd most likely take, more or less the easy access ones, trap them, and set up a small ambush of however many Wookiees you choose.
A bottleneck of sorts.
Geraldo will take a moment. He'll step away from the group. He'll look down over the platform's edge. He'll survey the platform, walk around, look at the other ones.
An additional strategy would be to attempt to persuade the Imperials not to attack and discourage them from attacking.
Persuade the Imperials not to attack?
I believe that's called begging. It works sometimes.
If there's one thing that the chief has learned about the Imperials is that once they begin to attack, they continue until they achieve their goal or run out of units.
You could leave the area and
Relocate entirely.
yeah.
You suggesting
like
a
the
full-on
best
retreat?
Yes.
At least of the
actually.
women and children would probably be
Be
the same.
aware that the Imperials do have control of the star space around this planet. It's very risky outrunning an Imperial.
Well, of course it
I
would
said-
be risky running, but running through the star space. But it doesn't appear that they knew where their cave encampments were. See, the problem with these forest cities is that they're just right out there in the open. Geraldo will gesture around. There aren't any real bottlenecks to be had until they try to take the central tree here.
No,
Gestures.
we need to hide indoors. They'll make them think that the place is abandoned. They come to investigate. We spring out and fight them close quarters.
Yes, but if they believe it's abandoned, what's to stop them from just destroying the entire area? They
Look,
come, they investigate the outskirts, they see no
The way I
plan.
see it, running is a temporary solution. If they stand and if they fight and stand their ground, it will no longer be an issue. They run, they'll have to keep running.
This village has a limited number of manpower. The Imperials, I don't think they know what a limit is. I mean, sure, you deflect their attack now. They come back in a month or so, stronger than ever, and then this time they know what to expect.
As these negotiations are going on, you guys, the debate of this is taking much longer than you had anticipated, and you see that it's actually the sun is beginning to set, and it's actually the night is coming on soon. But you guys realize you've been there for several hours discussing this.
We'll have the cover of nightfall.
And so will they.
The Wookiee would also like to remind you that the reason that the Imperials are attacking is because we showed up. We are obligated to assist them the best
It's
we
all
can.
right. I forgave Krell.
See, they're one step ahead of us. Now, I assume they want us to do something with these Wookiees. I'm not exactly sure. I never understood why they put a tracker on us. They did.
You know what? That's a great that's a great question. Let's ask them. Geraldo will he'll pull out his long range comlink, and I'm gonna do a computers check to try to find a Imperial frequency.
What is he doing?
One success, one advantage.
Contacting the Imperials.
Okay, so
That's not smart.
so you're sitting there and you've got the big long antenna hanging out, and you're like, you know, it's like searching away, and you hear it's like comes in, and you get a comm. Yes, who is this?
This is Geraldo Nahario.
Geraldo Nahario. We are locating your position, and we will. We are
my God.
triangulating your
point, I
position
just
at this
start
point.
pulling
No,
on.
no, no, no,
I
no,
tear
no,
the
no,
cords
no.
on his fucking thing.
No. You already know exactly where we are. And I already understand exactly what position we're in. I am the negotiator. I want to know what you need. Our glorious benefactors. What do you need to stop you from attacking us? What can we do for you?
Mr. Geraldo, would you please be kind as to put on the man that goes by the name of Borden, please?
Alright, at this point I literally pull out my gun. I'm like, Geraldo, step back, I'm shooting this thing.
Geraldo will turn his back to you, and he'll bring the walkie-talkie up. He'll bring the comlink up. Unfortunately, Borden is dead. He was
Riker would attempt
the
to
bomb
defuse
that
the
you
situation.
planted on our ship. I am the captain. I am the captain of that ship, and I am your only real means of communication with this tribe at the moment.
Very
I will
well then,
let you
Mr.
know that I
Geraldo.
have many guns pointed at me right now, and I am putting my life in. Yes, I am putting my life on the line for you.
Very well then, Mr.
For the glory
Geraldo.
of the Empire.
Please hold out. We will be able to assist you shortly.
I want to make a deal with you to convince you not to show up here at all. What can we do to stop you from showing up? Because that will just lead to a lot of wasted slaves, wasted pelts, wasted whatever it is that you want.
Okay, so after a couple seconds there, you hear a secondary voice come on. It's like, "This is Jin. Who am I talking to?"
Oh, well, you're talking to Captain Geraldo Nahario of the...
Yes, Captain Geraldo. I know of you and your dealings with our special agent, which I have recently been informed that he has recently met a unfortunate end.
Yes, not my fault, that's yours.
Mr. Geraldo, we will be meeting face to face soon enough. I look forward to meeting with you. And transmission.
Oh,
I'm literally like walk up to him like, what was the plan there?
well, the plan was to convince them not to show up.
And what did you
But
do?
she's a smart one. She's crafty. Oh.
So the
New plan.
the Wookiees are all
Alright.
looking on at you. They don't know what's going on. They're kind of baring their teeth and looking nervous. So he knows now as night is falling, the moon is starting to come up, and he realizes that there's probably going to be a battle in the morning. But they feel that the best plan they've heard so far today is to hide, prepare for battle, and surprise the Imperials. Because facing them on a firing line, they know they're not going to win.
Also, Riker would go over towards Geraldo and gesture him away from the crowd or whatever and mention, if they take this village, we have no ship. We have no means of escaping this planet anymore.
Geraldo will blink as though he'd totally forgotten it. Look over to Riker. Have this very surprised, sort of totally aghast face, and look back to the Wookiee. You know what? I changed my mind. We have to defend this place for as long as possible. We have to give up our lives. All of us. Every single one of us. We must fight. We must fight. And he just stomps his foot. He just smacks his hand on his hips. And he looks to the other of us. You know what? I've decided we cannot be cowards. We must put up a fight.
That's what I'm saying.
We
The
must
Wookiees all
give
start to
our
roar.
lives.
A bit of a roar starts to go up.
How many of your families have been lost? How many Wookiees? How many slaves have they taken to build their machinations, their terrible devices that in turn were used against you? You must give your lives, your souls, dedicate yourselves to destroy the Imperial, the White Shells, the stupid crab pieces of shits that want to take this place from you. Give yourself to defend this place and my ship.
So they're roaring so loud that they actually grab you and throw you up onto their shoulders and carry you around now at this point.
Yes, defend the Night Sister with everything you have.
They just feel that obviously they're misinterpreting what you're saying. They think you're saying defend the city, obviously, or the village.
Yes, defend the landing bay and the city.
Mostly the landing bay.
as the night is pulling on here, you can see lots of the Wookiees are walking around with lights and things, and they're pointing up. And
I suggest cutting those bridges if sections of the village may fall, and halting the advance.
What if we rigged the whole fucking village to explode? Like, not kill Wookiees, but we rig all these drawbridges to explode.
Yes.
When the Imperials are on them. Not hurting anyone. I mean, it might piss the Wookiees off a little bit. But is that not the best way?
A little bit at a time. That's a good idea.
You might be able to send out a few scouting parties that could not ambush, but slow down the Imperials a bit. Take off one or two and then retreat to the woods. Maybe try to divert their attention and give us
Guerrilla
some time.
tactics, yeah.
sure.
Alright. Geraldo, now that he's contacted the rest of the crew and gotten a good idea of what's going on, he's going to head back into his quarters, lock it behind him, take up the long-range transmitter, and contact the Imperials.
Okay, they're like, Mr. Geraldo, we are currently monitoring your base as we speak. Are you in the YT-2400 freighter?
Yes, we are in the. I am in the YT-2400 crater. You must be aware that the Wookiees have set up explosive traps along the bridges and intend to attack you from the vines from above and below.
Very
you must
well
be
then.
wary of this. They have also maneuvered their women and children outside of the main base. You must search around the main area and find them. Perhaps you might use them as ransom and end this fight before more bloodshed occurs.
Very well then, Mr. Geraldo, stay tight and safe. We will be quick and powerful. We will overcome the Wookiees, and you will be rewarded for your assistance here.
Thank you so kindly, and long live the Emperor and transmission before they can.
Okay.
Kind of cringely, you just kind of like force jump, hop away, and then just begin scouting out the area using force sense at long range. So that's what I'll go with. So I'm just looking for any life forms as I'm like hopping through the trees.
Okay, so you would sense tons of life all around you. You can hear it's all around you.
Yeah, is there any group together, organized, military life?
You would feel there's a larger presence of a concentration of group in one direction's off into the woods here. So if you, from there,
Can I
then
tell what they are?
you can't tell what they are, but you can tell that they're off in this direction here from the ship. All you would know is that there is a group of close-knit group, which is unusual because that's the only concentration that's in the area. The other ones are smaller and more random.
I'd get on my comlink and I'd say, hello, this is Miles, and I'm out scouting the perimeter, and I see a close-knit group of people, very organized, possibly Imperials,